and yet another very wonderful evening out there to all of you, my dear friends. We left off in our Jeremiah 40 Bible study with Gedaliah. He's placed over this tiny remnant that remains because the Babylonian captivity has just occurred. Zedekiah, the last official king over the Jews, has now been dethroned, and there hasn't been one since. At least not any from the Davidic line. Christ will be the next one that actually sits upon the throne. But anyway, the Babylonian captivity has taken place. Gedaliah, he is placed over this tiny remnant. He hears about this assassination plot of Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, who is of the royal seed of David, and he believes that he deserves to rule instead of Gedaliah. He also despises Gedaliah being in cahoots of sorts with Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So there's a couple of different reasons why they're wanting to kill Gedaliah. But Gedaliah, he's actually a pretty decent leader. And he just tells them very simply, he says, now just go about your business. Don't rebel. That's basically the only advice. Just don't rebel. Now it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, of the seed royal, and the princes of the king, even 10 men with him, came unto Gedaliah, the son of Achim, to Mizpah. Right up here. Remember, Jerusalem's been burned, so it's uninhabitable, just rubble. And Mizpah is right up here where they're all settled. And there they met, and they had this dinner at Mizpah, Ishmael and Gedaliah. Now this occurred in the 7th month. This was 3 months after the capture. This is how closely related that these events are, which is just astounding. In the 7th month, 3 months after the capture, and 2 months after the burning of Jerusalem. So Ishmael, he brings 10 men with him to Mizpah, where Gedaliah and his men are stationed, and they're going to have this dinner. And Ishmael, he rose up during the dinner, and the 10 men that were with him, and they smote Gedaliah, the son of Achim, the son of Shaphan, with the sword, and slew him, whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the land. I like Matthew Henry's comment on this. Who would have thought that after the destruction of Jerusalem just 2 months before, rebellion would so soon have sprung up? There can be no thorough change but what grace makes. And if the miserable, who are kept in everlasting chains for the judgment of the great day, were again permitted to come on the earth, speaking of those in Hades, the sin and evil of their nature would be unchanged. I've heard for many years about people saying, well, if you could bring anybody out of hell, they'd be the best preacher in the world. I can safely prove that wrong. That is not correct. Because until I never wanted to preach whatsoever. Not whenever I was in tribulation, not whenever, and I'm talking about before I became a Christian. I had no desire whatsoever to preach. If life got harder on me, I just hated God more and more. I just despised God. It never made me want to serve God when life got harder. Now, how much harder does it have to be in hell right now, Hades? How much harder is it there than on this earth? I mean, they totally resent God. They're not going to come back and preach. Only whenever God moved my heart to preach did I want to preach. And that's the same for every single being, that you're not going to preach unless you're moved by the Lord to do it. Ishmael also slew all the Jews that were with Gedaliah at Mizpah, and the Chaldeans that were found there, and the men of war. So he kills everybody. And it came to pass the 2nd day, after he had slain Gedaliah, and no man knew it, that there came certain from Shechem, from Shiloh, and from Samaria, even 80 men, 80 men coming from these different parts, to mourn in Jerusalem, having their beards shaven, and their clothes rent, and having cut themselves with offerings and incense in their hand, to bring them to the house of the Lord. Now, if you pay attention to these little details right here, how they're, of course, displaying mourning for the destruction of the holy city of Jerusalem. And it says that they cut themselves. Now, that's a pagan practice. That's a pagan form of mourning. And you can see that back in the days of Elijah on Mount Carmel, how they would cut themselves for Baal and such. God, he even condemns that. And Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, went forth from Mizpah to meet them, weeping all along as he went. And it came to pass, as he met them, he said unto them, Come to Gedaliah, the son of Achim. Now, he's already killed Gedaliah, and he's just feigning weeping. He's just tricking them. And it was so, when they came into the midst of the city of Mizpah, that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, slew them, and cast them into the midst of the pit, he and the men that were with him. But 10 men were found among them that said unto Ishmael, Slay us not, for we have treasures in the field, of wheat, and of barley, and of oil, and of honey. So he forbare, and slew them not among their brethren. So Gedaliah, he kills 70 of these mourners, and he leaves 10 alive, because they told him they had treasures hidden in a field, which they would show him, that he wouldn't be able to find it unless he left them alive. Whether he kept his word with them is not recorded. He could do nothing good or great, and it is likely that when he had possessed himself of those treasures, he served them as he had served their companions. Now the pit wherein Ishmael had cast all the dead bodies of the men whom he had slain because of Gedaliah was it which Asa the king had made for fear of Baasha, king of Israel. And Ishmael the son of Nethaniah filled it with them that were slain. Then Ishmael carried away captive all the residue of the people that were in Mizpah, even the king's daughters, and all the people that remained in Mizpah, whom Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had committed to Gedaliah, the son of Achim, and Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, carried them away captive, and departed to go over to the Ammonites. Now, as you'll see right here, the Ammonites, located across the Jordan to the east, and right here they are. And it's believed that the king of the Ammonites actually put Ishmael up to this, because they were enemies of Nebuchadnezzar, these Ammonites. But when Johanan, the son of Kareah, he's the man in whom warned Gedaliah, look, Ishmael is planning to kill you, and he actually makes a request to Gedaliah, and he says, send me to go and I'll kill Ishmael before he's able to do this. He was very confident in his sources. But when Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces that were with him heard of all the evil that Ishmael the son of Nethaniah had done, then they took all the men and went to fight with Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, and found him by the great waters that are in Gibeon. Gibeon, not far at all from Mizpah. It's actually a neighboring little city. Now it came to pass that when all the people which were with Ishmael saw Johanan, the people taken captive, whenever they see Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him, then they were glad. So all the people that Ishmael had carried away captive from Mizpah cast about, meaning turned around and returned, and went unto Johanan the son of Kareah. The words are significant as implying the popularity of Gedaliah, and how his ally Johanan, even just being an ally of Gedaliah, was so much more loved than Ishmael. And the joy of those who had been under him at seeing the prospect of his murder being avenged, they at once took refuge with the leader of the avenging party. But Ishmael himself, the son of Nethaniah, escaped from Johanan with 8 men. So apparently 2 of his men died, and went to the Ammonites across the Jordan. Then took Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces that were with him, all the remnant of all the people, whom he had recovered from Ishmael the son of Nethaniah from Mizpah. After that he had slain Gedaliah the son of Achim, even mighty men of war, and the women, and the children, and the eunuchs, whom he had brought again from Gibeon. And they departed and dwelt in the habitation of Chimham. If you can see it right here, just below Jerusalem, which is by Bethlehem, to go to enter into Egypt, because of the Chaldeans, because of the Babylonians. They're afraid now. Gedaliah, the man in whom Nebuchadnezzar put over them, he's been killed. Not only that, but several of his own soldiers have been slain. So, of course, he's going to be very angry. For they were afraid of them, because Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, had slain Gedaliah, the son of Achim, whom the king of Babylon made governor in the land. Then all the captains of the forces, and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and Jezaniah, the son of Hoshea, and all the people, from the least even unto the greatest, came near, and said unto Jeremiah the prophet, Let, we beseech thee, our supplication be accepted before thee, and pray for us unto the Lord thy God, even for all this remnant, for we are left but a few of many, as thine eyes do behold us. It's believed that Jeremiah was part of this group of captives, that the Lord thy God may show us the way wherein we may walk, and the thing that we may do. They're wanting to know, should we remain in Judah, or should we go to Egypt and flee? What's going to happen? Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto the Lord your God according to your words, and it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing the Lord shall answer you, I will declare it unto you. I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, The Lord be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not, even according to all things for which the Lord thy God shall send thee to us, whether it be good or whether it be evil. We will obey the voice of the Lord our God, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us, when we obey the voice of the Lord our God. So keep in mind what they're saying. They're very willing to accept anything that the Lord says, and they're so certain that they're going to follow through with it. Because remember, that they have heard from Jeremiah all these years about what would happen to their city. They have confidence that what Jeremiah says is from the Lord unto them. So they're saying, okay, we're gonna do this. But then 10 days pass. It's not as if Jeremiah just went in to a tent and prayed and then came back out an hour later. No, 10 days, and a day can make a world's difference. So 10 days upon a very scared, fickle people, and the longer that went, the more frightened that they would become, because they know that the news is going to reach Nebuchadnezzar, and then he's going to whatever. And it came to pass after 10 days that the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah. Then called he Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces which were with him, and all the people from the least even to the greatest. Now notice how the Lord makes them wait 10 days. The Lord does this a lot. Whenever he says that he's going to try people in the fire, like he'll try you in the fire, notice how the blacksmith will do. He'll leave the metal in there for a long, long time. And the longer that the blacksmith leaves it in there, the more malleable it's going to be, the more able that you're going to be able to mold it into what you want it to be. So he makes them wait. God doesn't give an immediate answer. The prophet would not give an answer of his own on the spur of the moment, but waited in prayer and meditation until there came into his mind that which he could utter as an oracle of God. So Ezekiel waited also for 7 days among the exiles that dwelt by the river Kabar, till the word of the Lord came to him. When the hour came, the prophet preached to a multitude whose eagerness to hear him had been intensified by the suspense. So Jeremiah, he comes out and tells them, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, unto whom ye sent me to present your supplication before him, if ye will still abide in this land, then will I build you and not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up, for I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith the Lord, for I am with you to save you, and to deliver you from his hand. And I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you, and cause you to return to your own land. But if ye say, We will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of the Lord your God, it would have been a very easy thing. I've given thought to this predicament that they're in. It would have been a very easy thing for them, for the Lord to move in the hearts of Nebuzaradan and Nebuchadnezzar. It'd have been a very easy thing. Just, hey, Gedaliah, we had nothing to do with that. It was Ishmael. He's in the land of the Ammonites. And, I mean, it's just tell the truth. That's all that you'd have. That's all that would have been required of them. But no, they let fear overrule their own reasoning, but even more so their faith that God would protect this tiny little remnant remaining in the land. So the Lord, he gives them that promise, and then he says, But if you don't obey me, saying, No, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there will we dwell. And now therefore hear the word of the Lord, ye remnant of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and the famine, whereof you were afraid, shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. So shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. God, it's not as if he's saying, well, in Egypt, I've already set bad things to happen over that. He says, no, if you go, I will specifically point out where you are and bring these calamities upon you. Very, very frightening foreboding right here. But this kind of reminds me about life in general. Oftentimes we want to go back to our old ways. We want to go back to certain things, certain sins, and we want to kind of leave the right path and go back because we think that we'll have more safety and comfort and calm in that area. Whereas staying in the faith can sometimes be a little a bit scary or even almost overwhelming. So, just talk to pastors or whatever if you want to know about that. But oftentimes we'll want to go back to our old lives in order to find comfort. And the Lord does not. He says, you stay with me. It'll be okay. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as mine anger and my fury hath been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured forth upon you, when ye shall enter into Egypt, and ye shall be in execration, and in astonishment, and a curse, and a reproach, and ye shall see this place no more. And so in their case would be worse than their brethren in Babylon. Who would have thought? Who, after a term of years, their captivity in Babylon would expire. They would return to their land, which these would never see anymore. And now we see Jeremiah, he speaks to the people directly. The Lord hath said concerning you, O ye remnant of Judah, go ye not into Egypt. Know certainly that I have admonished you this day, for ye dissembled in your hearts when ye sent me unto the Lord your God, saying, pray for us unto the Lord our God, according to all that the Lord our God shall say, so declare unto us, and we will do it. You said you would do what the Lord said. There's what the Lord said. Stay here. And now I have this day declared it to you, but ye have not obeyed the voice of the Lord your God, nor anything for which he hath sent me unto you. Now therefore know certainly that ye shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence in the place where ye desire to go and to sojourn. Jeremiah, he can probably hear the mumbling. He probably was already let in from the Lord about what they would choose to do, and he had probably already kind of seen a vision of what would happen to them. He's just disheartened. Chapter 43. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent to them, even all these words, then spake Azariah, the son of Hoshea, and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, go not into Egypt to sojourn there. Can you just imagine dealing with this is a people in whom they're in a more humbled state than they were back in Jerusalem. Can you imagine them before the captivity? Jeremiah, he has just put up with this his whole life, and he even tells them before they even reply, because he knows how hard their hearts are towards God's will. It really speaks on what Jeremiah had to go through. But Baruch, the son of Neriah, setteth thee on against us. Now Baruch is Jeremiah's right-hand man. It's his assistant. And they're saying, no, Baruch, he's whispering in your ear what to tell us. For to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon. So Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. The reason behind this is astounding. Baruch's whispering in your ear. But since when has Jeremiah started to listen to Baruch? Baruch was but a clerk or secretary to Jeremiah, so not very probable to overrule the prophet to a falsifying of his trust and a betraying of his countrymen into the hands of their enemies. But so fond are wicked men of their lust that they will say anything in justification of them. But Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left with Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch, the son of Neriah. So they're saying, you all must come. They're forcing Jeremiah and Baruch to go with them. So all of those in Judah are now being forced into Egypt. In this way, the utter depopulation of the land was completed. Thus was fulfilled the predictions of Jeremiah 24:8 through 10. And the sole hope of the nation now centered in the exiles at Babylon. Now the remnant can't even be trusted because they're no longer even... This is a totally desolate land now. No one is there. Even beasts would now reside there. And just real quick, what is Jeremiah 24:8 through 10? Well, that's of the two fig baskets, one being good, the other being evil. And as the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, they are so evil. Surely, thus saith the Lord, so will I give Zedekiah the king of Judah and his princes and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in this land. So he's talking about the residue, even, that remain in this land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse in all places where I shall drive them. And I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. The very same thing that is now prophesied on these leaving. So Jeremiah already knew. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tahpanhes. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tahpanhes, saying, Take great stones in thine hand, he's speaking to Jeremiah, the Lord is, and hide them in the clay in the brick, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tahpanhes, in the sight of the man of Judah. The palace of Pharaoh was being built or repaired at that time. Hence arose the mortar and brick kiln at the entry. Of the same materials as that of which Pharaoh's house was built, the substructure of Nebuchadnezzar's throne should be constructed. Now this is the prophecy that's being given. Where these stones are going to be laid, Nebuchadnezzar will take over this very place that you all stand. Nebuchadnezzar will be here and set up and rule over this land. He'll still rule from Babylon, of course, but he'll conquer this very place that you're in. Very terrifying prophecy. The substructure of Nebuchadnezzar's throne should begin by a visible symbol, implying that the throne of the latter, Nebuchadnezzar, shall be raised on the downfall of Pharaoh. So Jeremiah, he's setting these stones there, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid. And he shall spread his royal pavilion over them, and when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. Whomever the Lord has ordained to die in such a way, they're going to die in that way. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them, and carry them away captives. And he shall array himself with the land of Egypt, as a shepherd putteth on his garment. Pay attention to that. Nebuchadnezzar would array himself as a shepherd putteth on his garment. And he shall go forth from there in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth Shemesh, that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. Speaking about Horus, Osiris, all these gods of Egypt, all these would be destroyed or taken away. But if you'll notice how the Lord begins, before he's talking about Nebuchadnezzar burning all of these, he starts with saying, And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt. So it's truly the Lord doing this. All that he's doing is using Nebuchadnezzar to his own will. But once again, let's aim back at this, as a shepherd putteth on his garment. The words may point simply to the easiness of the conquest, that Nebuchadnezzar would so easily conquer Egypt, that it would be as a shepherd putting on his garment. There may be a reference to the fact that when the shepherd so wraps himself, he turns the fleecy coat which he wears inside out. So the prophet may suggest, shall the conqueror turn the whole land upside down? And one final comment about this Beth Shemesh. And he shall break all the images of this Beth Shemesh. Who is this? What is this? The images of Beth Shemesh, rather the pillars of Beth Shemesh, is what is more namely thought. In essence, the obelisk of the temple of Ra, the sun god, from which Heliopolis derived its sacred name, Perah, the abode of Ra. It was the custom to place obelisk in pairs at the entrance of these temples. Now, this one may have been built later on, but all of these would have been destroyed some 2,500 years ago. That is it for today's study, my dear friends. I thank you all for listening. Lord willing, we're going to be getting into Jeremiah 44 pretty soon. God, a peace be with you. Amen.